right, Coach. We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First carry for Nick Chubb. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. It's complete to Hopkins. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Lions will take over.
Ready. 54, right there. 54 Mike. Here we go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Oh, it's a jet sweep. Here's Davis. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Quiet, 64, weak. Watch the ship. Set, go.
And to give this time to the tailback. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a first down or more. And finally marked down at the 23. 31 yards there and a first down. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
On first down. Good one. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Ready, set. 45. Mike, 45. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Let it happen.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
At the 24-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A first down there on a pickup.
Twenty-five. 25 yards. First down, Falcons.
Yellow. I'm the Louis. Tight into the right, boy. Tight into the right. Move. Alert. Alert. 3 down. 15.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. To throw, it's Mahomes. It's caught, Smith. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
We got 3. Got 3. 3 down. 3 down. Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
Throwing is Mahomes Falcons on third. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 38-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop you, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. A run for Nick Chubb, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Mahomes going to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
It's now 2nd and 6.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 8.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
So don't say nothing.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Lions 7, Falcons nothing.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down.
Check 3, check 3. Protein spill. Watch out, watch out, watch out.
From the gun, Love. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for them, too.
On 1st and 10, Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Looking to throw. Love. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
General, West. Check 45 to Mike. Check 45 to Mike. What happened?
To throw on third down. Love. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46. They go back to the ground with Johnson. Shedding the tackle. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Going to give this time to the tailback. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for the Lions. 43 yards on the ground. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Okay, break. 45 to Mike. And watch the leg. Go.
They give to Johnson going right. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Ty Johnson hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Operating from the gun, Love. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now here's Mahomes. They'll set up the screen to Smith. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They go play action here on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7.
18 moving. 18 moving.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL.
Switch.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mahomes looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
It's been my observation of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Snap coming at 1, and it's Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
No, that's you, partner. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Snell. And they'll get him down up past the 15. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Okay, ready?
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Back to throw. Love. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 1st down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he's got room. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The Lions will use the 1st of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now they'll run it on the toss. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here we go, 90, walk. Here we go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the 1st half. And to give this time to the tailback. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This just a 24-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the 2nd half of Week 17 is underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Ready?
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now this throw caught left side. First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. The 30, 10, touchdown, Detroit. Ty Johnson with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half. We all know that teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right?
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Ed Oliver in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Hey, 43. 90 is a mic. Wow. Ooh. Just like that. 90 is a mic. Silver, silver.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Going deep for Hopkins. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So a change of possession here on the punt.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
We
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Off play action. Love. This will be caught inside the 10. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert?
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Benny Snell, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point attempt to come here. And the lead is now 24. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Mahomes under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he's going to go down again.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. It's taken to the 26. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Looking to throw on second down. Love. He's going to float this one deep right side. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call, and they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. From the gun, Love. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 17-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Mahomes now to throw. This one caught by Ridley. And they'll get him down here at the 23.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the...
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Boy, Brandon, that's what I'd call an ill-advised pass right there on 3rd down. I mean, you just need a yard or two to keep the drive going. Instead, he's trying to hit a home run. You've got to really like your chances if you're going to take a shot like that.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Jack, they still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
He's brought down at the 37-yard line. That's a gain of 3. Now 3rd and 5.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun. Love. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Let's go! Let's go!
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. He's got a first down past the 30. Fighting down. He's got daylight. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Falcons. Nick Chubb, 84 yards. And the Falcons cut into that lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. They got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
From the gun on 3rd down. Love throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside, not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
Able to pick up the first. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Oh, it's a jet sweep. Here's Davis. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Check 31, check 31.
Looking to throw. Love. Screen play. Johnson. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Love. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route, complete. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Okay, ready? Check line 54. Line 54. Get that.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Here we go. 70 in. Come on, come on.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on 1st down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd. And this one is right through. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Let's go, man.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Mahomes now on 1st down. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards there and a Falcon 1st down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
A run with Chubb on 1st down, not going to be a good one. He won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 37-yard line.
They go play fake. Mahomes. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. 90.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
1st down, Atlanta.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
All right, T, let's turn. All right, T.
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. And he gets this one to Ridley, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
90 is the mic. Who that?
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 43 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
I don't think you got it, son. Watch motion. Watch motion. Mike, 55.
They'll give it to Chubb, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
Attack!
On 2nd and goal, Mahomes toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
They got to have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. On the carry, it's Chubb. And he'll get nothing out of that one. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Maybe one final chance here to make this a bit more respectable as he'll go for it on 4th and goal.
Hey, rip list. Yellow.
90 is the mic, Charlie. 90 is the mic. Bring it. Bring it.
Mahomes throwing on 4th. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at the 24-yard line.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. On the toss, here's Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now on 3rd. And he'll give it here to his running back. Big hold of the 30. And finally brought down at the 34-yard line. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
Big series right here. We got to step it up.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Come on now. Let's go.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game.